I'm joined today in the studio by Dee Paramour, who's going to tell us about two very exciting new products called deColourant and deColourant Plus. So Dee, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Tell us about these exciting new products.
Well, they're exciting because the deColourant is a discharge medium that isn't toxic and It's got no bleach in it.
All right, tell me what's a discharge medium?
It acts like bleach. If you put it onto fabric, it will take the colour away.
And non-toxic, you said?
And non-toxic, yes. And it's not nasty for you. You don't breathe in any horrible fumes, which traditionally discharge mediums have always been quite nasty to use.
Yes.
And obviously bleach isn't good for you either. And bleach will eventually rot and degrade your fabric.
Yes, no, I recognise that.
Whereas this doesn't. So it's perfect, really.
Super. And deColourant Plus?
deColourant Plus is a one-step process. It's the deColourant, but it's got pigment added to it. So it takes the colour away from the fabric, but it leaves the coloured pigment behind, so you get colour left.
So if this one, for example, which is called Bright Lime, that's the sort of colour we would get.
It dries a bit brighter than that.
Yes.
Some of them do change colour when you heat them.
Okay, all right. So show us, you've got lots of lovely examples here, both on fabric and on cards, I see.
Yeah, you can use it on card and paper as well, as long as it's a natural fabric. So like cotton, linen, some woolen mixes will work.
All right.
It has to be natural really, but it will work on polycotton mixes.
All right.
It works quite well on that. So paper and card you're fine with because they're natural.
It's perfect for, yes. Okay. And do you want to talk us through what you've done here? I know you're going to do some lovely workshops for us as well, but just in anticipation.
Yes. Well, it was really just to show some just little designs on pieces of fabric for, as a quilter, you might have plain fabric and you don't want plain fabric. You might want to put a pattern on there, which, let's face it, plain fabric is cheaper than patterned fabric.
Yes.
So you can, make your own patterns quite cheaply using some
stencils?
Everyday things that you have around the house, or you can go out and buy specialised things.
Okay.
So this one was done with an Indian wooden block.
Oh yes.
Like
Coloricious cell and that sort of thing.
Yes, and it works lovely with that.
Beautiful, because it's simple designs usually from those block printing, aren't they?
This one here was done with a rubber stamp.
Okay. Oh, there are a lot of rubber stamping girls out there.
Yeah.
Got tired of making cards.
Was just using a little foam applicator like that, but obviously smaller ones, and just dabbed on to make circles.
Okay.
So again, quite simple.
All right.
Again, that one's wooden, that's block printing.
Oh, can't see where the edge of that is. There we are.
Yeah. This one was a piece of plastic that you use for moulding metal.
Right.
And it has design on it, so I used that to get a print off of.
There's another block
and
print.
that one's stencils.
That's stencils, fleur-de-lis. Very nice that. Yeah. So this was a plain brown piece of fabric.
They were all plain fabric.
Okay, fascinating. Okay, and then this is obviously ribbon.
Yeah, that's vintage ribbon or American seam binding ribbon. And it works quite well on that. Obviously check your ribbons first, because a lot of them melt as soon as you put an iron on them. So do be careful with your ribbons.
Yes, in the workshops we see that this is heat activated.
It is heat activated, so you
have
to be able to iron it, yes.
Right, well let's look at some of these lovely things. You can just show us how versatile these products are.
Yes.
This was just a plain scarf?
It was a plain cream coloured silk scarf. And I've done a shibori technique on that, so you can see some of the lines and things. I've also done a bit of stamping one end. Right. But the good thing for silk people is that normally if you want to put a design on silk, you have to use gutter.
Okay, yes, I've heard of that.
Gutter,
yes,
it?
Yes.
Because it holds...
Stop it bleeding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas this you don't, because it doesn't bleed.
Right. So this is another silk piece?
That's a silk piece, and I've used, that's a rubber stamp, and that's a stencil. And you can see there's no bleed on it.
No, it's a lovely crisp image here.
It is.
Similar sort of thing. So these are silk handkerchiefs and things. Cotton, presumably?
Yep, that's a piece of cotton.
All right. Scarf?
Yep, another piece of silk that I've stamped. And
lovely. Isn't that pretty?
It does work very well on silk.
Pretty.
When it's very, very fine silk, because some silks are finer than others, if it's very, very fine, you'll get like a ghosting because it's so transparent anyway.
That's probably quite
but
nice.
it's very, very pretty when it's done.
Plain bed linen, I think this was.
Yeah, just you can use it on anything that's fabric, really. You know, you could put it on some fabric and then cover a lampshade, or
Absolutely.
all throughout your house,
So,
tablecloths,
I was going to
napkins.
say, yep, brilliant. And clothing.
clothing.
Look at this. So plain. Oh, it wasn't so plain, the jeans, were they? They were quite
No.
sweet. But
I've just added flowers down the side.
So that's something the children could do.
Absolutely.
Personalise their own clothes.
Yep, it's very safe for children to use. Obviously, the only thing you would need supervision with, or for the parent to do, is the ironing piece.
Ironing, yes. But under
But
supervision.
for them to paint it on, it's fine, because if they spill any on their clothes, as long as you don't activate it with heat, you can wash it out.
Wash it out really easily. So we've got another pair of jeans that got a bit more adult stitching around it, but still simple stitches for the young sewers.
Exactly.
And some what would be otherwise very boring t-shirts suddenly become very exciting for the summer.
Jazz them up. I mean, you could even put little gems on the flowers,
absolutely.
and really
Crystals
bling it up.
and blingy stuff. Yes. And if you haven't got enough inspiration from here, there's this brilliant book too.
Yes.
You can get hold of.
Full of inspiration. There's all sorts of lovely things in there. And it's all done on fabric in there, but if you are a paper crafter, pretty much everything that you can do on fabric, you can do on paper and card. The only thing you don't do, obviously, is wash it afterwards, because you'd end up with paper mache.
Well, yes,
but,
absolutely.
you know.
Yeah. Super. Thank you very much, Dee, for all this inspiration, and we're really looking forward to the workshops you're going to do for us.
You're welcome. Looking forward to doing them.